Hello everyone. Up to now, we have studied different cyber crimes like phishing, software piracy, unauthorized access, bullying, cracking, hacking, etc., and the various measures to detect and avoid the cyber crimes like password setting. Password should be the strong password, as well as which things we have to do and which things we have to avoid. Today, we are going to study some security procedures to avoid. Uh, today we are going to study some security procedures to be safe and secure from cyber attacks. Let's start it. First security procedure is the encryption. In last chapter, we have studied this encryption word. Encryption is the method of converting the original message into random text, which should be complex to understand and difficult for a hacker to decode. The idea is to ensure security and safety of data and its transmission. Let's understand it through the example. First of all, let's understand the process of encryption. Here, sender is working, sender having plain text. Then sender applies encryption method on it. Due to that encryption method, this plain text converts into the ciphertext, which is completely in unreadable format. Then that ciphertext is, is received by the recipient. Then that recipient again applies the algorithm on it. And then due to that algorithm, this ciphertext gets converted into the plain text and recipient can read that message. Now here, while sender applies the encryption process and recipient applies the decryption process, various functionalities are processing. Just like here, in encryption, we have to use, or recipient has to use, the public key. And due to this public key, here plain text gets encrypted. And then encrypted text is known as the ciphertext. And when recipient receive that ciphertext, receiver is also not able to read that message. Therefore, he has to decode that message. And to decode that message, recipient have to use the private key. When recipient applies the private key on that ciphertext gets converted into the plain text, and then recipient can read it. That means in the process of encryption, actually encrypt and decrypt, these two methods are embedded. In encryption process, recipient generates the public key, and in decryption process, recipient applies the private key on the data. Okay. And one more important thing is, when sender sends the encrypted data to the receiver, that time it is completely in the ciphertext format, and ciphertext format is completely unreadable format. And due to this, if any hacker or any cracker cracks this data or hack this data, that time also, if public key is strong, then that hacker or that cracker cannot easily detect or decode the ciphertext and cannot read the original data. Therefore, it is one of the major security process to transfer the data over internet. Now let's see it practically. Suppose this is your text. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This is our data and we have to send it to the receiver. Now here, sender will applies the private key on, sorry, the sender will applies the public key on this data, and due to application of the public key, this data will get encrypted. And after encryption, this data will convert into this format, which is completely unreadable. Then receiver will receive this data. Receiver is also not able to read it. Therefore, he has to apply the private key on it. And then after applying the private key, he or she can read the data properly. This is the method of encryption and decryption. Now here, when sender generates the public key, that time that key is shared with the receiver only. Okay, therefore only sender and the receiver knows that specific key. And due to that, they both can communicate with each other properly. One more example. Here, suppose sender sends the data ABCD and applies the key +2 on it. Here +2 key is applied, that data will converted into the C, D, E, F. As +2 key is applied, therefore A will be incremented by 2 letters, that it will be C. A will be converted into the C, B will be converted into the D, C will be converted into the E, and D will be converted into F. And then receiver will receive that data, and then receiver will apply the private key on it and can read the data as ABCD. While applying that key by the receiver, receiver has to use the -2 key here. Then and then that data can be decrypted. Okay, here at the sending portion, sender will apply +2 key and receiver will apply -2 key to display that data properly. This is just for the example. These simple keys are not applied, but I just told you for your understanding. This is the encryption method. It is very important method for the data protection and data security. Then next one is the SSL, that is secure socket layer. Now it is the most consistent security model. Through the SSL, transmission of data is encrypted, client server information is authenticated, and also message integrity for TCP/IP connections secured. Now we are generally saying that we have to use the secure websites. What is the indication of secure website? Yes, this is the indication of the secure website. When there is lock, website is converted into HTTPS. This S stands for secure. The website is secure, then and then we can use it. Generally, when you are using any banking websites, that time if bank having the secure website, then and then you have to do the operations, you have to perform the transactions on that site. Otherwise, don't use any website for your accounting transaction. It is very important. If website does not having any S, that is not having any security, we have to avoid it. We should avoid it for the data exploration also. We should not explore any data from these unsecure websites. It is indicated that this site is secure. There will be tick mark or there will be lock. Secure websites gives the assurance that your data or your transactions will be safe. Now the third point, firewall. Firewall refers to the network security, that is the hardware and software system, which blocks certain type of information, forming a barrier between a trusted and untrusted network. It attempts to block the spread of computer attacks. In last lecture, I told you that firewall means the barrier in between two networks. See here, this is the internet, here is firewall, and here our network. Here is the LAN connection. This connection is again distributed into multiple system. Now here, internet having multiple types of users, multiple type of data flow, and our network is secure. It is not having any illegal type of data handling. But here different type of cyber criminals are here, and that criminals tries to hack our network. They always try to send some illegal, some unauthorized data from their network into our network. But if we are having the firewall, then this firewall restrict this illegal unauthorized data to enter into our safe and secure network. This firewall checks each and every packet received to it from the other network or from the outside network. And if it finds any illegal thing, then it prevent to enter that packet into our network. And therefore, our network remains safe and secure. Therefore, this firewall is very important when we are using the network. See here, this is LAN, here is firewall, and here is MAN or WAN. In general, for example, let's consider the example of our computer lab. Our lab having the LAN connection, and this LAN connection is connected with different type of MAN, different type of WAN also. Now, different type of MAN or WAN tries to hack our machines. But if there is firewall, this firewall will restrict each and every attempt of that hackers to enter into our network. Therefore, this firewall is very essential to save or to secure our network. Now, the statement is artificial intelligence will change cybersecurity landscape in few years. Artificial intelligence will play an important role in future. Just before some days, you may heard that police from Ahmedabad railway station found some thieves by using this artificial intelligence. And today, there is a news that scientists used artificial intelligence technology, and by using our eyes, scientists found that how much days we will live. आपण आणखी किती दिवस जिवंत राहणार आहोत हे सुद्धा आपल्या डोळ्यांवरनं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्सचा यूज करून आपल्याला शोधून काढता येतं, हे आज सायंटिस्टने दाखवून दिलेलं आहे. आजच्या न्यूज मध्ये ही गोष्ट हायलाइट करण्यात आलेली आहे. आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्सचा खूप मोठा यूज आता सायबर सिक्युरिटी मध्ये सुद्धा केला जाणार आहे. ओके, नाउ आफ्टर दिस सिक्युरिटी प्रोसिजर्स, let's move towards the IT Act. IT Act 2000. Up to now, as we have studied the different cyber crimes, then different security procedures and different security measures. Now we have to study the IT Act. In case, suppose we or our friends may be the victim of the cybercrime, that time we should know what to do. And all that things, what we have to do, how to do, all that things are given in this IT Act 2000. In May 2000, both parliament houses passed the Information Technology Bill, and in August 2000, President of India passed IT, uh, this IT Act, and from August 2000, it is known as IT Act 2000. Cyber laws are contained in the IT Act 2000. Different types of cyber laws are embedded in this IT Act. IT Act 2000 is an act to provide legal recognition for a transaction carried out by means of electronic data interchange and other means of electronic communication. This act aims to provide the legal infrastructure for e-commerce in India. Now, e-commerce is having a very good future in India, and to provide the specific type of infrastructure, this IT Act is very helpful. The cyber laws have a major impact for e-businesses and the new economy in India. So it is important to understand what are the various perspectives of the IT Act 2000 and what it offers. IT Act 2000 provides a framework for all the electronic transactions such as electronic records, electronic activities, electronic communication, and e-commerce. And therefore, nowadays, all e-commerce companies, all e-commerce website releases replacement policy if there is any issue in material delivery and product quality with specific terms and conditions. Now let's see which are the different features of IT Act. First thing, digital signature has been replaced with the electronic signature to make it a more technology neutral act. Now, what is the digital signature? Digital signature cannot be used by any common person who has not right to generate it, to create it, or use it. Only legal person can use that digital signature. And due to that, nowadays, electronic signatures are used. In electronic signatures, just see here, these are some of the examples of the digital signature. Only authorized person can have the right to provide the digital signature. But today, e-signatures are mostly used. When there is a courier, that time that courier takes our receive in the format of e-signature. E-signature can be done in two ways: directly through our hand or through their stylus. E-signature indicate the consent or approval or permission on electronic document or forms. आपल्याला जे मटेरियल मिळालेलं आहे त्याची रिसीव आपण या ई सिग्नेचर थ्रू देत असतो. Then next point, it elaborates on offenses, penalties, and breaches. Now here all the negative things have to be elaborate. That means आपण जर काही नियमांचं उल्लंघन केलं, आपण जे काही सायबर सिक्युरिटीमध्ये जे काही रूल्स अँड रेग्युलेशन्स दिलेले आहेत त्याच्या जे फ्रेमवर्क ब्रेक केला तर आपल्याला कोण काय काय शिक्षा होऊ शकते, कशा पद्धतीचा दंड होऊ शकतो, काय पेनल्टीज आपल्याला पे कराव्या लागतात, या सगळ्यांची इन्फॉर्मेशन तिथे आपल्याला दिलेली आहे. देन इट आउटलाइन्स द जस्टिस डिस्पेन्सेशन सिस्टीम फॉर सायबर क्राईम्स. जर आपण सायबर क्राईमच्या विळख्यात सापडलो असो, जर आपण सायबर विक्टिम असेल, तर आपण जस्टिसचा आपल्याला सायबर सिक्युरिटी ऍक्टचा कसा यूज करता येईल, त्याच्यासाठी आपण काय काय प्रोसेस केल्या पाहिजेत, ह्या सगळ्यांची आउटलाईन, ह्या सगळ्यांची गाईडलाईन सुद्धा ह्या IT ऍक्ट मध्ये प्रोव्हाइड केलेली आहे. It defines in a new section that cyber cafe is any facility from where the access to internet is offered by any person in the ordinary course of the business to the members of the public. Then it provides the constitution of the Cyber Regulations Advisory Committee. आता सायबर IT ऍक्ट डिझाईन करताना त्याच्यामध्ये जे काही सायबर रेग्युलेशनसाठी ॲडवायझरी कमिटी आहे, त्या ॲडवायझरी कमिटीसाठी जी काही तरतूद आहे, जे काही नेसेसरी थिंग्स आहेत, त्या सगळ्या आपल्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मध्ये प्रोव्हाइड केल्या गेलेल्या आहेत. The IT Act 2000 was embedded in the 2008 and 2011 at it includes rules for cyber cafe, cyber security, delivery of services by service provider, audit of electronic document, etc. Initially, in the IT Act of 2000, some amendments were necessary, and that were done in 2008 and 2011, and that was related with the cyber cafe, cyber security, service providing, and audit of electronic document. All these are the silent features of the IT Act. Okay, I think up to now you got the complete concept of IT Act, cyber law, cyber crimes, and different security procedures. Today we have completed here our fourth lesson, cyber law. Here you have to perform a case study. Suppose your any colleague or any friend is a cyber victim and want to release himself from that attack or cyber crime. That in that case, which steps you will take to help your friend or your colleague? You have to discuss it with your other friends and then provide all the detailed report to me in our class. Okay, then today we will stop here.